During the summer nights, Pamela immersed herself in an almost sacred ritual. Each star shone with its own unique brilliance, and she observed them as if they were guiding stars in the vast night sky. Beneath a sky adorned with constellations, she settled into her favorite corner of the garden, where the tranquility of the night enveloped her surroundings. The gentle breeze seemed to dance with the leaves of the trees, and the sky, full of twinkling stars, provided the perfect backdrop for her moments of introspection. She always carried her notebook with her, a small leather companion that seemed to absorb every thought and wish. As the night progressed, Pamela wrote with an almost ritualistic delicacy. Each wish made to the stars was a small prayer, a desire sent out into the universe in search of answers or fulfillment. These wishes, made in the silence of her own company, held profound significance for her. They were moments of hope and connection with something greater, a way to align her dreams with the vastness of the cosmos. These seemingly simple and routine moments carried an unexpected depth. Pamela felt that her wishes, once expressed, floated through the universe like small beacons of light. The stars, with their distant and mysterious glow, seemed to listen and perhaps even respond. It was a ritual of faith and hope, where each wish had its own symbolism, reflecting her deepest aspirations and fears. And it was in this serene and expectant setting that the unexpected was preparing to make its entrance. Every moment Pamela spent under that starry sky was a preparation for something greater, something that would transcend the routine and become a turning point in her life. The simple act of writing in her notebook under the night's mantle was about to lead Pamela to an encounter that would change her perspective forever. That night, which promised to be another one of the peaceful and moonlit evenings Pamela knew so well, began to transform in a subtle yet unsettling manner. The sky, once a tapestry of bright stars, began to be covered with a thin, sparse cloud, like a delicate veil obscuring the light of the celestial bodies. The stars' glow seemed to flicker, as if they were blinking in an almost imperceptible rhythm that disrupted the balance of the night's serenity. It was then that Pamela noticed changes in the atmosphere around her. The air, once cool and soothing, started to become thick and heavy. A breeze that had previously caressed her skin now seemed to abruptly stop, as if the night itself was holding its breath. The sounds of the night, which had been a symphony of crickets and rustling leaves, began to alter. A low, pulsing sound, almost like a distant murmur or an echo of rhythmic beats, became present. It was a strange and out-of-place melody that seemed to vibrate with the frequency of its own unease. Pamela, initially disconcerted, lifted her eyes from her notebook and began to look around. The field of stars seemed to be moving now, as if the constellations were engaged in a slow and disordered dance. She felt a chill run down her spine, not exactly from the cold, but from an indefinable sensation. It was as if something was about to break through the surface of normalcy, a palpable feeling that nestled in her senses. Her heart raced as the shadows around her began to stretch and distort, casting strange and unfamiliar shapes across the lawn. Each movement, each subtle change in the light, seemed to bring a foreboding of the unknown. Pamela tried to rationalize what was happening, but logic seemed to dissolve in the face of what her eyes were seeing and her ears were picking up. Pamela's first reaction was a mix of curiosity tinged with a hint of fear. She slowly got up, feeling the coldness of the damp grass against her feet, and moved toward the center of the garden, where the phenomenon seemed to be more intense. Her eyes sought answers, but all she found was a tangle of stars, shadows, and sounds. Each step she took felt like a deeper journey into uncertainty, a walk on the edge of a mystery that was revealing itself piece by piece. The signs of the supernatural were now clearly and unmistakably before her. What had started as a subtle play of lights and sounds had transformed into a spectacle of terror and fascination. Pamela was on the verge of crossing the line between the ordinary and the extraordinary, and the night, which had begun as a moment of tranquil introspection, was turning into a stage for the unexpected. As the night progressed and the signs of the supernatural intensified, Pamela sensed a presence that transcended anything she could have imagined. In the center of the garden, where shadows and lights intertwined in increasingly enigmatic ways, a phenomenon began to take shape. It was not a tangible being in the conventional sense, but rather a manifestation of pure energy and light, moving and pulsing with a supernatural intensity. What Pamela saw was something that defied logic and description. It was as if an ethereal and luminous mist was forming in the air, with colors shifting gently between deep blues, emerald greens, and iridescent purples. This mist had no defined contours, but seemed to undulate and move like a current of calm and enchanting water. Amidst this pulsating light, a figure began to emerge, as if a specter was rising from the very fabric of reality. It was an indistinct, almost amorphous shape that appeared to be constantly molding and reforming, like a work of art in motion. Pamela watched with a mixture of wonder and apprehension as the figure seemed to gain consistency. The being, although lacking a clear physical form, conveyed a presence of profound wisdom and power. There was a sense that it was communicating not through words, but through subtle telepathic communication. Pamela felt a wave of emotions and thoughts that were not her own, but were gently shared with her. They were messages of peace, understanding, and a profound sense of connection with the universe. The interaction was intense and intimate. Pamela reached out her hand towards the presence, as if wishing to touch and better understand what was before her. In response, the luminous mist approached, enveloping her hand in a cold but gentle touch, not uncomfortable. The sensation was like an electrifying chill traveling through her skin, followed by a comforting warmth, like an ethereal embrace. She realized that, although there was no verbal dialogue, there was a constant flow of information and feelings passing between her and the entity. The experience had an immediate and profound impact on Pamela. The sensation of being so close to something so incomprehensible and grand made her feel both insignificant and infinitely connected to the cosmos. The initial fear gave way to a sense of curiosity and reverence. Pamela felt that her daily concerns and anxieties were minor compared to the vastness of what she had just experienced. Her perspective on her own life changed radically. She now carried a new understanding of the interconnection between all beings and the universe. The night, which had begun as a moment of solitary introspection, had transformed into an encounter with the sublime and the incomprehensible, leaving Pamela with a sense of wonder and a deep sense of personal transformation. Pamela's supernatural encounter was not just an isolated event, but a transformative milestone that reverberated through every aspect of her life. The experience led her to deeply reassess her beliefs and her view of the universe. What had once been a nightly ritual of simple introspection became a turning point that reshaped her understanding of the world and herself in surprising ways. Before that encounter, Pamela viewed the stars as mere luminists in the sky, distant symbols of dreams and wishes. After the experience, however, they became something more, a tangible representation of cosmic connection and the vastness of the unknown. The feeling of having been touched by such a sublime presence made her see the stars not just as physical entities, but as portals to a deeper and transcendent understanding of existence. Her personal beliefs embraced a broader and more spiritual perspective, where the universe was no longer just an empty space, but a field of profound possibilities and meanings. Internally, the experience triggered a significant metamorphosis. Pamela became more introspective and aware of the invisible forces she believed were shaping her destiny. The fear and uncertainty that initially overwhelmed her were replaced by intense curiosity and unexpected serenity. She developed a new way of contemplating her choices and actions, approaching each decision with an open mind and renewed confidence in the interconnection between all aspects of life. The experience also encouraged her to explore spiritual and philosophical practices that had previously seemed distant or abstract. Pamela began integrating meditation and reflection into her daily routine, seeking a deeper balance between the material and spiritual worlds. In her daily life, Pamela's internal transformation brought noticeable changes. Her behavior and interactions with the world around her began to reflect her new perspective. She became more compassionate and patient, understanding that everyone is on their own journey of discovery and challenges. Her approach to work and relationships also changed. She began to value simple moments more and connect with others on a deeper level. This supernatural experience also led her to engage in projects and causes that promote spiritual connection and well-being, such as meditation groups and community initiatives focused on environmental awareness. The impact on Pamela's life was comprehensive and profound, challenging her previous notions and redirecting her path in a significant way. Her experience not only altered her personal perception but also shaped how she lives and interacts with the world. The encounter with the supernatural, far from being an isolated event, became the catalyst for ongoing and enriching transformation, leading her on a journey of self-discovery and deeper connection with the universe. Pamela's supernatural encounter was not only a fantastic experience, but also a source of deep reflection and meaning. As she attempts to understand what happened that magical night, she finds herself exploring the symbolism and lessons that this event might offer. Pamela's encounter with the supernatural can be viewed as a metaphor for the unknown and the unexplored. In a broader context, the ethereal and luminous presence she encountered represents the vastness of the universe and the depths of our own consciousness. This encounter symbolizes the idea that there is something greater and more mysterious beyond the limitations of everyday life and human understanding. It serves as a reminder that the cosmos is full of mysteries and possibilities that challenge our conventional view of reality. The phenomenon can also be interpreted as a reflection of the connection between the human and the cosmic, where the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual become fluid and interconnected. It is an invitation to explore one's own spirituality and seek a deeper understanding of existence.